Welcome, guys and gals, back to the channel. Yes, Manly Seagulls season review 2023, an absolute garbage case of a season for the Manly Seagulls. Absolutely, fans are fed up. What is happening? They had the man right there, Des Hasler. It all started back last year when they got rid of him and brought in Seibold. Are you kidding me? This will be Seibold's last coaching endeavour, no doubt about it. I'll be stunned if he lasts the season next season. I'm putting that prediction out there right here, right now. Manly fans, there was nothing to write home about. And there is another question I have for you at home too. Is it time to let go of Turbo? Tommy Trbojevic, the $1 million man that keeps continuing to be missing season after season after season. 2 years in a row now. He was there in 2021 and he had an injury to start the season. I mean, the year before as well. And to start that season, then he went on a run. Absolutely outstanding. But, yeah, question marks over whether he has still got the goods to get it done. No doubt about it talent-wise, but his injury play going to cost him from being an immortal, because he was on that sort of trajectory, Tommy Trbojevic, but unfortunately injuries have curtailed that and really hasn't helped New South Wales either, because he has been one of the key players in their cog when they've won competitions. But with him out, it's been all smooth sailing the other way, and Manly really need him on the field. They really, really need Tommy Turbo to have a full season, no injuries. He needs to be back to his mighty best. Otherwise, it's time maybe for him to go. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about what the positives were for the season. But to me, it all comes back to Anthony Seibold, drunk as a skunk, at the McDonald's. What sort of thing is that? Putting on the likes of Schuster, the players that really have been struggling for Manly. Well, yes, we can do whatever we want. It doesn't matter. There's no consequences for my thing. Yes, absolute craziness. I know they dropped Schuster for a while, but what, a week or two, and he was back in the team. Really, he's been probably one of the most disappointing players of the whole comp this year. Now, he did not play for Samoa in the World Cup, and well, probably for Samoa's case, it was probably great he didn't, because he might have been a train wreck for what had come for Samoa to get to the final. So, you said here, this is his words. Well, not exactly, but he words into this that I want to be the best in the game. Well, he's not showing off the field that he wants to be the best in the game, and is proving the point on the field as he struggles with fitness and issues. He really needs to improve, and he will need a big 2024 with Manly to be any chance of really. They might not need him to be at his best, but they need a lot of players around this team to go to another level if they want to improve, which under Seibold, they didn't. They won the start of the preseason challenge, and maybe they thought, no, sweet, it's going to be an easy season. Even myself, I had Manly up there in the top 4. Well, what a mistake that was. But Manly, with Turbo, Cherry Evans, Gerbo, all playing at their mighty best, they are a big chance. And I was expecting Schuster to go to another level. He didn't, so it's very disappointing for you Manly fans for Schuster not to go to that level that was needed. But yes, they're too reliant on Tommy Turbo. They're going to have to try and figure out a way to improve that. But anyway, the completion rate for the season for the Manly Seagulls was 78%. Their for and against was bang, 22 points for and 22 for against. So probably just the defence let them down at the end of the day. They were scoring enough points to win games, but just defensively sometimes let themselves down. The top tackler was Lachlan Croker. He had a pretty good season. Ruben Garrick, top point scorer, 174, so he had another great year. Whether he's fullback long-term if Turbo's out, I don't know. Top try scorer was Jason Saab with 17. Best player of the year, he seems to get this quote convincingly. Daly Cherry Evans seems to get it all the year long, but it's starting to turn into that Ben Hunt sort of thing. Like, yes, you are getting paid this $1 million, but you're not actually producing victories on the field. So Cherry Evans has all this talent, right, but he's not getting it done on the field. He might be playing well, but is he playing that well that they're winning their games? It's probably debatable when you look at some of the other players when they play, and you know they are absolutely on song. Nathan Cleary at the back end of the season really showed that. when he was on song, he took them on their ring, and away they go. So for me, that's what Cherry Evans needs to do for Manly. There was a little bit of talking point, maybe he will end up at the Titans. I don't see that happening now, really. When you've got to this long in your career, why would you change clubs right here, right now? I don't think it's going to happen. He says he wants to continue on, even though there was rumours he was going to pull out. But obviously he likes playing football, and now he's got a more taste in the Australian team again. He is happy, is Larry. Will his brother get to play next time? I assume so. They'll rotate a few players around, give them a rest for the big game. But yes, it's going to be an interesting thing. Rookie of the Year, Dean Madison. Who? Yes, exactly. A lot of people saying who, but from diehard Manly fans, they'll be going, yes, he's a gun player of the future. But who I thought probably was the best player for Manly all season, and was not talked about much, Kohler. Yes, I really liked how he was playing at centre, and he is the answer to fullback in my opinion. Put him at fullback. He's the one. If Turbo's not fit, this is the guy who should be playing fullback, not centre. I think he's ready for it. Yes, it was an interesting one to start the season. I think, yeah, they won, was it 31-6 against the Bulldogs? Is that? And probably thought, yeah, this is the team that's going to get it done. But it just went. Yeah, so they won their first 2 games. But after that, it all went pear-shaped. And the 44 points and 12 lost to Penrith really just curtailed it, and really just didn't get any better from there. It was absolutely. But obviously the drama, Anthony Seibold being drunk at the McDonald's or sleep, really just not a good look. Very, very bad taste. And I really think he needs to have a look himself in the mirror. Does he really want to be an NRL coach? Because I don't see them putting up with this rubbish for another season if they continue to go the way they have. But yes, to be fair, there's not many good coaches around. It's the hard thing at the moment. There probably is good coaches around, don't get me wrong. But they just, a lot of people seems to be, it's a little bit of who you know profile sort of thing. Instead of, yes, this could be the guy. It could go back to Tuvey. He could be the guy that they need. Cliffy Lyons, would he want to come back and coach at this sort of level? They've got players around there that could possibly do a job. But yes, to me, Tommy Turbo is the time to go. It's a time for him to sail the ship and maybe go to the Super League, try and just get some football under his belt. Obviously, he's probably not going to, but to me, I just don't think he's playing enough football for Manly fans for to get excited about. And really, he's just been out of. And there's too much money in him, Gerbo, Cherry Evans, and Schuster. Absolutely. And you got now you got Luke Brooks coming, and they've added him to the mix. It just is. It could turn into chaos. Will Luke Brooks be the answer at 6? I'm very much doubting it, because it's proven in his whole career that he's been average. I mean, he's not bad. Don't get me wrong. He reminds me of like a niche below Mitchell Pearce. People might say a lot lower, but I think he's a niche below Mitchell Pearce in terms of talent. But you just don't know which Luke Brooks is going to turn up for you. If he plays consistent and plays a running game, he could be an absolute gem. But I'm not 100% sure that's what Manly need, because I think Cherry Evans is more of a 6. I know he plays halfback, but he plays more like a Munster. He really does. And I think there's been a question mark over Cherry Evans a little bit. Just a little bit of his game, whether he is a number 7 or a number 6. But he's been put number 7 because Kieran Foran was 6 for a long time. So that's probably just a question mark, I say, on that. But he's still a very good player. I'm not saying Cherry Evans is not a bad player. Don't get it twisted there. But to me, if I'm looking at this wholeheartedly this season, it has been absolutely poor. For the standard Manly was going, really the standard, I'm giving them an E. I did initially go D, but I'm going to want an E. This team was expected to do well after the preseason challenge. They won the preseason challenge, all the talk around. They won their first 2 games, absolutely flying, and it absolutely went down the drain after that. Yes, I got worried about the forward pack. What is happening with the forward pack? And it looks like they're letting some of this forward pack go. Not really signing anyone. Matt Lodge, to me, I just don't understand why people keep signing this guy. He just continues to get game after game after game. I have an idea of why he keeps getting selected. I'm not going to share my views, but you could probably get my drift if he's yes, if something a bit if he's doing something a bit dodgy. But yes, Well, might not be dodgy, but like it would be dodgy if it came out of the NRL. As we all know, NRL is not really a quality thing. Obviously, the Pride jumper. Okay, that's if you want to go back to that. What I'm saying about Matt Lodge, but doesn't mean he is doing it. Don't get it wrong. This is absolutely just hypothetical. But the Pride jumper really has put a fraction in this club, and it's still there. To me, it really was. It was poor taste. In the end of the day, for me, was the players. I don't care what your religion is. This is a jersey for one game. Absolutely one game. Supporting every single human being. And if your religion does not support every human being, you're in the wrong religion in my book. Absolutely. There's a difference. There's a difference if someone does real bad things. That's a different story. But to take everyone in the same light, if they're not the same as you, that's just, to me, just absolutely naivety, craziness, and all that. But anywho, for me, for Manly, they are either going to tank. They could absolutely tank Manly and go absolutely out the door, or they can absolutely turn it around with Turbo back firing. That's pretty much what Manly season's going to be the next season if Turbo's playing, which was the same as this season. If he plays, there's a big chance. If he doesn't, I don't see much changes there. They're going to need to do some work in the off-season, Manly, for me. They've got to try and find the best out of Schuster. They've got to find something. Their forward pack looks a bit weak. I don't know how they improve that. And they let it go. Some of their forward pack, I don't understand that either. So it'll be interesting to see how this season goes. But that is the Barry Charles Footy Show season review of Manly Seagulls. To me, they need to do something with Turbo, and they really need to make it a quick idea. Or he has to half his price. If he half his price, 500,000, then yes, maybe Turbo's worth continuing to invest in, but to keep getting injured all the time, he's not worth $1 million. And will someone else pay him $1 million? Probably. The Tigers probably would. They seem to be put onto every single player and never seem to get a player that they want most of the time. So, but yes, the Manly Seagulls, bad season, absolutely rubbish. As simple as that. They need to improve in 2024.